Hey everyone, Maestro here. I am the football enthusiast. Hope you are all doing well today. Arsenal are back in the market for a goalkeeper. I've got to say, to be honest, I did not think that we'd be back in for anyone, but we are back in the market for a goalkeeper. And before I get into the details, real quick, guys, to keep up with the channel, please be sure to subscribe and make sure to put on notifications to keep up with all the latest videos as soon as possible. Also, you can find me on all socials in the description down below, but it is pretty much just at the Maestro style. Let's get straight into the video. So the report coming from David Ornstein, good old reliable David Ornstein, reporting that Arsenal are exploring a deal for the 27-year-old Spanish goalkeeper from Brentford, David RAYA. There is interest from Bayern also for a loan, apparently, but reported by Ornstein that he is more interested in joining Arsenal as opposed to Bayern Munich. Now, this actually could be confusing, but when you look into it, it actually makes full sense. Reason being is that, well, firstly, he'll probably get more money, but secondly, he's actually spent his entire professional senior career in England. I had no idea. He started at Southport as an 18-year-old. And then went to then he went to Blackburn, then he went to Brentford. So he's been in England his entire professional career. So it makes perfect sense that he does not want to leave the country. It's where he is comfortable. His family lives here. It is the perfect step up. If he was to take a step up to the next level, Arsenal, it makes a perfect sense for him to choose Arsenal as opposed to Bayern Munich in Germany. So yeah, that's the report. And now I'm just going to give you guys my thoughts on this whole thing. My thoughts on David RAYA. My thoughts on if I want it to happen. And also about Aaron Ramsdale. Because so Ornstein also reported that Mikel Arteta isn't buying RAYA to replace Matt Turner, our number 2. He's buying RAYA to compete with Aaron Ramsdale for the number 1 spot. That is his plan here, Arteta. That's why he wants him, and that's where that's what we're going to be talking about. So let's first start with Aaron Ramsdale. Let's. I'm gonna give you guys my opinion and set the bar on how good I think Aaron Ramsdale is in the rankings of goalkeepers in world football. So Aaron Ramsdale is a fantastic goalkeeper. He has earned that. He has been sensational for us last season. He was amazing. Great shot stopper, great reflexes, good passing, great voice to have in the dressing room. But, and ladies and gentlemen, this is where I might lose a lot of you Arsenal fans, but he's not perfect, is he? He's not Alisson. He's not Ter Stegen. He's not Courtois. In fact, I think there are a significant amount of goalkeepers in world football that I think is better than Aaron Ramsdale. Now let me also say this. Ramsdale is good enough. Like, he's good enough to win the league. You can have Ramsdale as your number 1 goalkeeper and win the league and win any major trophy. He is good enough for that. But it's not just about being enough. It's about being the best. And Ramsdale is not that. He is fantastic. He is. Yes, he is. But there are levels to this, and there are, in my opinion, a good amount of goalkeepers out there, specifically 100% Alisson, Ter Stegen, and Courtois, and a few others that are above him. So it's not crazy to suggest that he could be replaced. Now, David RAYA, is he above Ramsdale? I would say, in terms of reputation-wise, in terms of what they've both done in the league, it's pretty much neck and neck. Statistically, they are kind of neck and neck. RAYA has a higher save percentage, but he's faced more shots. Ramsdale has better passing. His Ramsdale's passing percentage is higher than RAYA's, but he has much better defenders, much better team to pass to. So there is that to consider. When I look at it, it is extremely close between the two. But ultimately, one is playing for Arsenal and the other is playing for Brentford. It's easier for Ramsdale to look good at Arsenal as opposed to RAYA at Brentford. Now, listen, that does not mean for sure that means Raya will be better than Ramsdale at Arsenal. No, that people bring the argument up a lot. People, for example, say that Harry Kane scored 30 goals with Spurs, which means if he plays for Man City, he scored 50 goals. No, it doesn't make sense. All right, it's about the fit. It's about the environment. It's also about mentality. Things change on many, many different factors. Same with Raya. He could come to Arsenal and be worse than what he was at Brentford, even though he has better players around him, better coaches around him, better environment around him. You know? So, look, they seem to be statistically and just with the eye test, they are very close to each other, to one another. There is actually quite a lot of similarities between the two. But what I want him. Yeah, I do. Just straight up, I want him to join. And I kind of love it. Because look. I love Ramsdale. I love him. He's fantastic. Huge fan of his. He's a great voice to have in the dressing room. He is a gunner through and throughout. But we have to be ruthless here. If Raya does come in and does show that he is better than Ramsdale, I'm all for it. Look, I'm all for it. It's about what's best for the team. So I am for this. For a reasonable fee. You know, because we don't know about the fee, by the way. There is no talk about how much he could go for. But for a reasonable fee, I would do this. Because I think he is a fantastic goalkeeper, Raya, and there is potential there that he could be better than Ramsdale. And that could be that little thing that elevates us even higher to win the trophies that we want to win. So I'm all for this. Comparisons between the two, they are very level-headed. It's close. You can go either way. But I enjoy this, not just for Arsenal, but also for Ramsdale. Because look, when Ramsdale first joined, he competed with Leno a bit, but it was pretty obvious from the get-go, Arteta wanted Ramsdale over Leno. Alright. Since then, he's had no competition. He will now. If Raya does in fact go to Arsenal, he will have competition. And therefore, I am excited to see what will Ramsdale's response be. How will he respond? Because this could be what elevates him even higher. And therefore, it works out the best. Even if this elevates Ramsdale, even if Raya is a bust, it was still worth it because it helped Ramsdale achieve a different level. So every way I look at this, I'm a fan of this deal and I want it to go through for a reasonable price. Just to reiterate, for a reasonable price. Now, what's reasonable? 25 to 40, something like that. 50, 60, nah, that's a bit much. Actually, I'm not entirely sure, but look, we'll talk about it when the time comes. But listen, yes, just to sum up, I like this because number one, it will challenge Ramsdale. It will challenge him, hopefully allow him to evolve and get better because he's now under, his position is under threat. And number two, Raya is just genuinely a fantastic goalkeeper. So even if he's number two, that's great. That's great. He's definitely better than Matt Turner, no offense. So that's great. So for those reasons, I'm loving it. And once again, it shows our ambition. I'm loving how active we are. I'm loving how urgent Arteta and Edu are at Arsenal. It's a good, great sign. I trust these guys. I trust my coach and Edu. I like this deal and I want it to happen for a reasonable price. So guys, we will end the video right there. If you enjoyed, please do like. If you want to see more, please subscribe for more. Do you agree? Do you think this is a good signing if it was to go through? Should we get him? How much would you be willing to pay for him? That's the question of the day today. Have a great day, and as always, take care of yourselves.